Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Shikha, for asking this question. Of course, the Trade Expo, like the Trade Expo before, we do a special arrangement for businesses who visit the Trade Expo. First is, of course, there is logistically, there is a transportation arranged from the airport to the hotels or the hotel to the venue that has been organized through the companies or hotels that provided the facilitation to the expo. Secondly, we are working on the special visa arrangement for the businesses who are coming to the Trade Expo. So it will be easier for us and easier for the committee to organize different kind of facilitation, including when they are arriving the first time to Indonesia. Because currently Nepal is not on the visa on arrival yet, but we are working very hard to push the government to give facilitation in order to attract more Nepalis coming to Indonesia. And of course, during the Trade Expo itself, there are a number of facilitation. There is a lounge for businesses coming to the expo so they can engage not only with Indonesia, but also with other countries' businesses visiting to the Trade Expo. Last 37 years of the experience of holding this expo, we are more than 130 different countries businesses coming to the Trade Expo. So meaning this is a kind of a melting pot for the businesses. They are not only meeting with Indonesia, they're meeting with other countries' business, they engage with them, and even they can join venture when they see after that, and then following up, they will do business with them. So this is a facilitation also. The Trade Ministry also would like also to get more advice if there is any interest of businesses coming to the Trade Expo and would like to visit the factory of their partners, or the like special economic zone, or the going to a different point of interest in Indonesia, in Jakarta and surrounding areas. There will be an organized arrangement with the committee that can be extended to the businesses coming to the Trade Expo. So the avenue are there, the people are there, the business from other countries are there, and there is a facilitation that we can provide during the expo.
In Nepal Indonesian Business Summit, all the distinguished guests of business and industries and all the colleagues from the government of Nepal, officials and friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Namaste and Salam Datan. It's a privilege to see the friendship, the possibilities, the prospects of a blossoming Nepal-Indonesia relationship over the years. In April 2010, Indonesia opened its honorary consulate in Kathmandu. Our relationship over the years has been based on trade ties, sports diplomacy, and adoption of, and relationship over the year has been based on sports diplomacy and adoption of the Panchashila ideology, subscribed during the Afro-Asian conference in Bandung in 1955. And we are also really grateful for the fact that our senior vice president, Mr. Chandra Rakal, is the honorary consulate from Indonesia. So I am sure during in his tenure, the business relation and diplomatic relation between our countries is going to go to that new heights. So we're really grateful for that as well. Just to let you know what Panchashil, this is what we call the mantra of our diplomatic relation with other countries. Panchashil is a very ancient science, so we are following that. The ideology states mutual respect for territorial integrity, non-aggression, non-interference, mutual benefit, and peaceful coexistence. So this is part of our culture. So we have adopted this as our basis for our foreign policy. I would like to say something about FNCCI. It's very fortunate for us that is that as an umbrella organization of the Nepalese private sector, we get to facilitate the Nepal-Indonesian Business Forum as an organization that aims to be nationwide network, facilitating the promotion of business and economic growth in the country. For the knowledge of Your Excellency about FNCCI, the direct membership of FNCCI comprise of 118 district municipalities, 11 chambers of commerce and industries, 123 commodity sectorial associations. So that will mean that certain sectors which is representing, say, cement or steel or even small products. So 123 such commodity sectorial associations are our members, as well as 1,748 leading corporate houses are our members. So we are truly the voice of the private sector. We not only represent the large corporate houses, but we are truly the voice of the small and medium enterprise as well, because of our size and the reach throughout the country. FNCCI, after the new leadership has come in place, that is almost 2 years, we have prepared a vision paper. The vision paper, what we call it, is the NEP 2030. It has taken basic 3 objectives, that how we can push or how we can take our economy to $100 billion by 2030. Currently it's around 45 billion, and organically we probably will be reaching around $70 billion. But we want to leapfrog to a $100 billion economy, and also the fact that how we can reduce our trade deficit to half. And the third objective we have taken is how it is possible to create 2.2 million jobs in the country, especially in the organized sector. So the vision plan, the vision paper comprise of 100 such initiatives which we need to take to achieve these milestones. And this new team which has come, we have already taken initiation for 40 such things. And there's been a lot of success in the initiatives we have taken. But obviously this is a long-term sort of goals which we have taken. But we are working towards a focused approach to achieve these goals. So I would also like to say that among the 10 focus areas of NEP 2030, the 10 development MSMEs and so the development of MSMEs and startup is one of the most important areas. We have recently signed MOU with government to implement this as well. And just to let you know, to Your Excellency and many business people who are present here, our NEP 2030 vision paper has been endorsed by the government, and they have taken this as their guideline to achieve the milestones. And we are working on forming a joint committee to implement the plans. So it is a very serious document for the progress or economic progress of our country. I would like to say something on Nepal and Indonesia's current situation. The two countries have a huge potential that has yet to be explored in the field of trade, tourism, and social and cultural exchanges. The imports from Indonesia at around Nepalese rupees 53 billion, and exports is only 69 million as on mid-July 2021-22. So we can clearly see there is a huge trade imbalance which we have with Indonesia, and we would like to explore opportunities where we can bridge this gap, and Nepalese product should also access market in Indonesia. We would like to work very closely with your embassy, with your office, to make sure this gap is reduced. Nepal mostly imports vegetable fat and oil, mineral fuels, machinery, and edibles from Indonesia. I was just told that my colleague here, the Vice President of FNCCI, is also importing the fiber from Indonesia, which is not mentioned here. The top exporting items from Nepal to Indonesia are ginger, leather, felt, rags, ropes, and cables. So this is what we've been exporting. We would like to, because Nepalese industries, we want to explore other opportunities as well for the products which we can export to Indonesia. Nepal and Indonesia are similarly blessed with spectacular landscapes and diversity, complemented by exotic cultures. which hold considerable potential for tourism in two countries. And as you are probably aware, Your Excellency, we are one of the few countries in the world which has never been invaded, never been colonized. So I think if my information is right, it's Nepal, Thailand, and Ethiopia. There are only three countries which have never been colonized. So our culture is undiluted. It is very pure, and so we feel that it is a big attraction for many other countries, which because if you see Buddhism, Hinduism, has been evolved in our country. Buddha was obviously born in Nepal, and Hinduism is also evolved from its origin into Nepal. So there is a lot which we can present to the Indonesians who want to visit Nepal. I feel very optimistic about the future. Nepal is set to graduate from the least developed country to a middle-income developing country by 2026. Our per capita has been rising very rapidly, and FNCCI has been working for some time now in preparing Net Vision Paper 2030 and hopes that we are not only achieve the set target goals but aspire to double them in coming future, which I just mentioned. We believe that bilateral goods trade and Indonesian investments in Nepal can scale up with great scope. And in this forum, I hope we can set the foundations for accelerating Nepal-Indonesian engagement to the next level. With this, I once again welcome you all to this Nepal-Indonesia Business Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. President, for a detailed introduction of the FNCCI and elaborating on opportunities in Nepal to the delegates from Indonesia. And also,
between the Nepal and Indonesia, the Trade Expo Indonesia is the platform for the business community in the both country to meet the mutual and discuss the trade opportunity of the either country. I request my business colleges to make a visit to this expo and explore the trade opportunity in the both countries. The terms of investment, we have been that Indonesia can invest in the area of hydropower and the tourism infrastructure. Our Prime Minister had also highlighted these two areas of the investment in this recent meeting with the Excellency Ambassador. We are highly encouraged that the engagement put together by the FNCCI will bring the crucial change to our shared future. We hope that the Today Business Forum will secure the relevance of our bilateral trade and common ground of the investment for our growth imperatives. We would like to continue this partnership where we both support each other in various and growth imperatives. I would like to reassure all the distinguished excellencies and the friends from the Indonesia that our relationship is based on trust, friendship, and the deep understanding of our domestic situation. We also look forward to organize the series of the business forum in either country and keep engaged the stakeholder in the area of mutual interest. Thank you very much for everyone.
First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Sekar Kocha, President of the Federation Nepalese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and also Mr. Chandra Prasadaka, my good friend, Honorary Consul of Indonesia in Nepal, and also Senior President of FNCCI. I see so many, dignitaries from FNCCI I have on my list. Mr. Dinesh Shrestha, Vice President of FNCCI, and also Mr. Anjan Shrestha, Vice President of FNCCI also. Mr. Ram Chandra Shanghai, Vice President of FNCCI, and also Mr. Sukunta La Hirosan, Treasurer of FNCCI. Thank you so much for allowing us and my colleague to meet with you and allowing to use this very nice gathering this afternoon to introduce about business in Indonesia and how to connect it to the Nepalese businesses community. Before I move on, I should like to introduce my colleague, my team. I have on my left Mr. Usman Effendi. Can you stand up a little bit? Yeah. Mr. Usman Effendi is a Ministry Counselor for Economy. He's the newest addition to our consular diplomatic in Dhaka, covering Nepal from Dhaka. And also I would like to introduce Ms. Fitri. Ms. Fitri is third secretary. She is in charge of consular and protocol affairs. So any issue regarding documentation, businesses documentations, how to legalize it, and visa to Indonesia, she is the one. And I would also like to introduce my business colleague from long way, traveling from Indonesia to Nepal, Mr. Indra. Mr. Indra? Yeah. So he's a real businessman who come all the way to Indonesia to come to Nepal to explore and to connect with the FNCCI members and also to enjoy the scenery and the beautiful geography of Nepal. It is my honor and my delight to visit the second time to Nepal today. My first visit was a couple months ago when I presented my credential to Right Honorable President Bandari. And 2 days ago I attended also the ceremony of Constitution Day and also National Day. So congratulations to all Nepalis for the National Day.
You have already?
Yesterday I met also with the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Prime Minister, to introduce myself and also to explore how and why we should connect with Nepal and Indonesia should be strengthened. And I also get advice from the Right Honorable Prime Minister on how to elevate the relation between Indonesia and Nepal. Today I would like to touch a little bit how and why Indonesia should be a great partner for Nepalese business. First, of course, we are one of the 10 countries of the Southeast Asian Association. We are, one of the Southeast Asian countries, the biggest Southeast Asian country's economy right now, because we are surpassing 1 trillion economy. So we became one of the G20 countries. Next month, we are holding the summit of G20s, inviting all the head of countries from G20s in Bali, Indonesia. Anybody have been visited Bali lately or a couple of years ago, maybe? So I hope Bali won't be so strange for you when you remember about Indonesia. The export of Indonesia in the last 2021 around US dollar 231.54 billion US dollar, which was recorded the highest value in history. In the momentum to continue and maintain the increased value of Indonesian export in the coming years. Indonesia right now, as I mentioned before, is the biggest economy in Southeast Asia, with population of more than 260 million people. And now it is the 16th largest economy in the world and recorded economic growth of 5.44. But this morning the ADB just corrected for the all ASEAN, Asian countries, around 4.3 of growth. So, but Indonesia still maintained its own growth, which is around 5.4% this year. So what does it mean for all of us in this gathering? That this is a country that we are really, like my colleague in Nepal knows better, because we have been engaged in bilateral relations in many years. We have a strong political connection, the visit of our dignitaries, the meeting of our ministers and head of countries in a number of international arena. And like I just mentioned before, that even though our country is distant by as we recorded, the distance by flight, maybe 5 to 6 direct flights from Indonesia to Nepal, for example, but it is not the distance that connect us together. It is the interests of business that connect us together among the different kind of interests between Indonesia and Nepal. So today I should like to underline how and why we should do business with Indonesia. First, of course, Indonesia is one of the countries with the fastest growing economy. I think one of the lowest inflation, one of the great country in Southeast Asia. We are at the headquarters of ASEAN, Southeast Asian Association, very strong organization in Southeast Asia. We have been engaged in different kind of arena, including with Nepal's government. So our minister has met in different kind of issues and forum. Next week, I think my minister will meet also with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nepal in the sideline of UN meeting in New York. So there are a number of avenues that we can use to strengthen our economy. Second one, as Mr. Sekar has mentioned, according to the statistics in 2021, Indonesia-Nepal bilateral trade was around $28.16 million. Meanwhile, then in the first semester of 2022, this year, the total trade amounted around $11.65 million. And the trade volume, you rightly mentioned, is still imbalanced, still very much favored of Indonesia. But of course, the import from your country doesn't mean the imbalance creates negativity. Because I know some of the product importing from Indonesia is for the use of the new production and can be used for the exported to the third country. So this is an additional value that can be used both ways for the Indonesian business interest as well as for the Nepalese business interest. The other one, why we should do business with Indonesia, because the strong 260 million Indonesians mostly are middle income and up. So this is a huge market for many products from Nepal to be exported to Indonesia, to be jointly produced with Indonesian business community, to be used for the investment both in Nepal as well as for Indonesia. I'm pleased to inform you that the Indonesian strong state-owned companies, more than 50 Indonesia strong state-owned companies are willing to invest outside Indonesia. And Nepal is one of the considerations, because this is a huge potential country in which Indonesia readily engage. The biggest challenge for us, as I mentioned also to Right Honorable Prime Minister, is how to connect people how to create the ambience in which people can understand each other. So knowing is believing, seeing is believing. For those who happen to visit Indonesia, whether this is in Jakarta, in Surabaya, in Bali, or in other area, will be much different perspective about Indonesia. Similarly to Indonesia, who has been visiting Kathmandu or Pokhara or other cities, maybe have different kind of perspective. So I also encourage Indonesian people to visit Nepal. Not only enjoying the beauty, the natural, your one on the only mountainous area which is attracting many tourists, but also the culture. We have some similarity of the cultures. Even the name, like Indra, my colleague, also had a similar name like many Nepalese business here. So we have a lot of similarities, and of course the interest of business. So by knowing each other, we can explore the potential of each other sectors, including for the business sectors. I should also like to mention to you what's the Indonesia's product exporting to Nepal. Among other are CPO, spices, crude and soybean oil, rubber, foodstuff, footwear, glassware, tires, machinery, spare parts, transport equipment, textile, batiks, and paper. Batiks is textile made with the different kind of pattern, very unique to Indonesia. And what is the Nepal made product exporting to Indonesia? Mainly carpets and jute product and many others that we may not be put it in the statistic yet, or through the third country, because many of us are also using the third country for the transit point for our product. So there is a possibility that the trade value between Indonesia and Nepal, which is many of them are not recorded, because the trade transaction was through the third countries, such as from India, from Singapore, using China, using Bangladesh, using many other countries. We are not only producing products which come from our own soil, but we are also moving the product which is from the strategic industry. For example, we also produce the aircraft. The Nortanio and Kasa has been developed aircraft industry in Bandung, Indonesia, producing the only one in the world, the Kasa CN 235, 236, 212, and different kind of aircraft. And one of them also exporting to the Indonesian, to the Nepalese army, Nepalese government. The other main product that we are also exporting is also we produce train, we produce buses. We are exporting 200 trains to Bangladesh in the last 5 years, and around 15 luxury bus Euro standard for Euro 4 standards to Bangladesh, to Philippines, to different kind of Asian countries, and also even some of the European countries also buying different products from us. So there are a number of different kind of products that you may not know that this is produced by Indonesia. With the Nepal population of around 3 million people. So it is not only the potential for Indonesian product, but also the potential of the growing sector for investment that I just mentioned before. And we are eager to expose our state-owned companies to visit Nepal and to explore the possibilities to connect with the member of FNCCI. So they will know that Nepal is not only a great country for tourism, the beauty of your land, but also the big and potential pictures for investment. The other sector that we also like to explore between Indonesia and Nepal is also on the tourism sector. There are several tourist destinations in Nepal that are quite attractive and has been well known for many Indonesian tourists. One is the hiking mountain of Everest, the Earth's highest mountain above the sea level, and also the religious tourism in Lumbini Park, for example, known as the birthplace of Buddha Gautama. We have a biggest statue of Buddhist temple in Central Java, this Borobudur, that we can connect. The tourists coming to Lumbini and to Indonesia, they can visit each other. And even we can explore the potential of how to connect this, how to create the capacity building that benefit for the tourism industry. The other is civil aviation sector, because I know the geographical area of Nepal is also quite difficult. Also in some of Indonesian locations, we have 17,000 islands of Indonesia, around 2 million square kilometers. This is hard to be transported only by land, but we need also transport by air and by water. So civil aviation sector is very important, very potential one. We are support also the possibilities of opening Indonesia-Nepal direct flight that can be connect with this kind of tourist destination that has similar cultural similarities between Indonesia and Nepal. So how we should connect this? One of the avenue that we can use is through Expo. So today I would also like to introduce to you the Trade Expo of Indonesia. This happened to be the 37th Trade Expo. So it has been 37 years the Expo has been held in Indonesia. This is the biggest trade expo in Southeast Asia that will be held in Jakarta on 19th to 23rd of October. So next month, at 19th to 23rd of October, located in the Indonesian Convention and Exhibition Center, BSD City, which is in the outskirts of Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia. This year, Trade Expo would be a physical one after we vacuum for 2 years because of the COVID. So we do it hybrid in last 2 years, but this year will be conducted in physical expo, focusing on the activity of B2B trade, that also promoting tourism, investment, and the export of Indonesian-oriented export products and services. During the expo on October, we are planning on the October 20, 2022. During the expo, this is program called a special session of the Indonesian-Bangladesh-Nepal Business Forum in the expo that will be held to bring together the entrepreneurs from the three countries, Indonesia, Bangladesh, and Nepal. The Trade Expo will be displaying various high-quality export products from Indonesia, where the product categorized into 7 zones and more than 50 sub-zones. Therefore, there will be around 1,000 exhibitors that will be participated in the expo. The event serves as a one-stop platform to connect the global market with high-quality, innovative export product from Indonesia. And apart from the exhibition and trade activities, the Trade Expo 2022 also offered the opportunity for buyers to expand businesses and investment network in Indonesia through different kind of activities during the expo, such as the trade forum. There is also the international seminars and also business mentioned. The current trade expo theme is strengthening global trade for stronger recovery. The theme is chosen aligned with the theme of the Indonesian G20 presidency, recover together, recover stronger, where the Indonesians aim to help the world recover from the negative impact of a pandemic. They're focusing on the three priority issues, namely strengthening the global health system, digital transformation, and energy transition. So the three biggest issues in the world that will be covered during the G20 presidencies, as well as the theme for the Trade Expo itself. So the Trade Expo 2022 aiming to commit the revived trade and export sectors for Indonesia and its trade partners, which in turn to have a positive impact on the global economy. So we are going to organize also, if there is any interest to many of Nepalese business to visit the expo, we will facilitate through one of the companies in Nepal that can be organized it. And I'm so thankful for the extension of assistance from my honorary consul, IME Travels, to help organize if there is any interest. And I would like to invite you all to attend and to visit the Trade Expo. So we